A lot of focus is on the sidelines of this summit and the fact that Ambassador Greer, the USTR, is holding these bilateral meetings with various trade ministers as these countries try to work out a trade deal in the spectre of the so-called reciprocal tariffs kicking back in once the 90-day pause ends. I want to focus on the most important trade relationship, which is between US and China. Just a few days ago, we had that Geneva summit, and off the back, we had Secretary Bessent talking about this mechanism, quote unquote, for the two sides to continue to talk, basically. And just a few days later now, here we have confirmation that the top trade negotiators of both sides, so Ambassador Greer as well as Minister Chenggang, they met yesterday, and I got a chance to ask Minister Lee how that went. Let's watch. Minister, how did the talks go with your US counterpart?
Good talks.
Good talks, constructive? Do you think you've been able to move forward now? So it seems like so far so good, but I wanted to take a moment just to talk about Minister Lee, because he is seen by some observers as being a positive sign that China is ready to engage with the US in relation to these trade talks. He's a relatively new face to these high stakes negotiations. He was only appointed a month ago. Of course, he was at those Geneva talks just a few days ago. He is seen as a steady hand, a seasoned veteran when it comes to trade matters. He was the Beijing ambassador to the WTO for a number of years, and like many trade negotiators, he does have a legal background as well. So this is something that I think we will watch going forward. But I think if we take, of course, the 30,000 view from here, there are still very deep structural issues in terms of trade between the two sides, and many analysts still see this as a pretty fragile truce given how deep the matters are, whether we're talking about state subsidies, IP, if we're talking about also oversupply, tech transfers, you name it. So still lots of issues. And also I got a chance to ask Minister Lee as well during our short interaction about whether or not there would be more talks coming, particularly between the two leaders, President Xi and President Trump, particularly given there are some reports suggesting there could be that birthday summit next month. Unfortunately, he said that he does not have that information.